My name is Keelan James Dalrymple, and today I will be going over my final persuasive speech for communications class. This is my beautiful wife, Annette, and she's going to be my audience member for the night. So let's go ahead and get this started. Developmental disabilities such as learning disabilities, developmental delays, autism, and ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, affect 1 in 6 children in the United States. That's from an article titled Healthy Air, Healthy Brains, Advancing Air Pollution Policy to Protect Children's Health in the American Journal of Public Health, published in April of 2019, written by author Devin C. Payne Sturgis. You might be asking, well, what does this have to do with me? My name is Keelan James Dalrymple, and today I will be discussing the effects of environmental pollution on our health, as well as why every person should try to help keep the environment clean and healthy. Often an overly politicized topic, environmental pollution and cleansing contain many distinct causes and solutions. Today I'll be explaining what some of the main causes and effects of pollution are, how urbanization of natural spaces is destroying the earth, what governments and countries have done to counteract environmental pollution, and how each person can make a difference in keeping our environment clean. The earth is our children's responsibility once we leave it, and we should at least make sure they do not have to deal with the mess that we've created. Causes and effects of pollution, or types of pollution. First is air pollution. This refers primarily to global warming and is chiefly caused by the burning of fossil fuels, widespread deforestation, and livestock farming. The effects of global warming are our Earth becoming warmer, thus causing water shortages, melting of the polar ice caps, increased fire threats, and drought, just to name a few. Heavy air pollution can also cause people to develop brain disorders like schizophrenia and attention deficit hyperactive disorder due to inhalation of heavy metal particulates in our air. Secondly is ocean pollution. Its main causes are sewage runoff, toxic chemicals and plastics getting into our waterways, and oil spillage caused by mining companies. The effects of ocean pollution are fish, bird, and marine mammal deaths, and the destruction of marine life habitats, as well as the pollution of our beaches and waterways. Lastly is land pollution, and it is caused by deforestation, mining, landfills, and illegal dumping of waste, as well as construction and urbanization. The effects are widespread but primarily cause birth defects in humans and animals, skin diseases, and cancer. We should all ask ourselves a question, and that is, what can I do to help eliminate further pollution? How urbanization of natural spaces is destroying the earth. Big companies displace natural habitats by chopping down forests to build factories. They take resources from the land, forcing animals to find other sources of water or shelter. Many large companies generate large amounts of waste from production, and oftentimes this waste ends up either in landfills or being illegally dumped. By some estimates, as much as 5% of all oil and gas wastewater produced in the United States is accidentally or illegally released into the environment. That's a quote from an article titled Salting the Earth, the Environmental Impact of Oil and Gas Wastewater Spills, in the journal titled Environmental Health Perspectives, published in December 2016, written by author Lindsay Conkle. Mining companies are primarily to blame for these issues, as mining contributes to sinkholes, deforestation, and significant use of water resources as described above, or previously. Not to mention wastewater disposal issues and oil spills that contribute to contamination of soil, ground and surface water, as well as ocean water. In 2010, the Obama administration announced it was pausing offshore drilling in the Arctic Ocean after BP's Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded, causing oil to leak deep into the Gulf of Mexico. This was, and I quote, a major setback to the oil industry. This is from an article titled Cold Hard Cash, the Arctic Drilling Controversy, published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives in September of 2010, written by author Charles W. Schmidt. All of the above are effects of urbanization which can lead to health issues in nearby communities. And as a society, we should do what we can to put sanctions on these companies to control and monitor their effects on the environment. And while most people understand we need a balance between reaping resources and ensuring renewability of resources, there are still some that only see mining and logging as a for-profit activity. What governments and countries have done to counteract environmental pollution? Since 2005, the U.S. has done more than any country to reduce its carbon pollution by tripling wind power resources and increasing solar energy tenfold, as well as setting forth a plan to further reduce carbon pollution by 30% by the year 2030. Wind energy stands out because it is free, clean, inexhaustible, and has the capacity to generate greater power, as well as having lower energy costs. This is from an article titled Exploring the Environmental and Economic Impacts of Wind Energy, a Cost-Benefit Perspective in the International Journal of Sustainable Development and World Ecology, published in December of 2020, written by author Kehinde Adeyeye. China is actively combating air pollution by prohibiting new coal-fired power plants from being built and shutting down old plants in their most polluted regions. African companies have introduced new and upgraded air pollution control technologies and have been more closely monitoring the effects of industrial emissions, savanna fires, and biomass burning. Many other nations across the world have also made significant changes to their effects on environmental pollution and endangerment. The Paris Agreement was a historical agreement between nations aimed at solving the issue of global warming by reducing nations' emissions output. As of June 1st, 2017, President Trump moved to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Agreement, and it is expected that President-elect Joe Biden will rejoin that agreement once he is given that authority. Now that I have gone over what the nations of the world have done to fight pollution, here is what we can do to help. How you can help make a difference in keeping the environment clean. Purchase greener, more renewable food, and try to eat all the food you can, or all the food that you purchase. This reduces emissions from food decaying in landfills, preserves energy and resources, helping to prevent pollution from growing, manufacturing, transporting, and even selling food. Consume less energy, plastic, and water. As easy as it sounds, a lot of people waste water by taking longer showers than they need to, or waste energy by leaving the lights on when they do not need lights on in the house when they do not need to be kept on. Likewise, people might get plastic straws for a drink when they don't need them, or use plastic bottles as opposed to glass ones, which contributes to ocean and land pollution. Make the move to a hybrid or a fully electric vehicle. While reducing the number of emissions in our air, vehicles are something most people might use every day, and we can all benefit if the cars that we drive are hybrid or electric ones. While these only represent some of the ways we can reduce pollution, there are a lot more, and while some are more cost-effective than others, there is always some way we can help. When you think about it, there are so many ways we can prevent further deterioration of our planet, and we all owe it to ourselves to keep the planet healthy and clean. Though many people may not know the dangers of pollution, I hope I have been able to motivate you to make a difference. I have explained causes and effects of pollution in our world, how industrial urbanization is destroying the earth, what the nations of our world have done to help reduce environmental pollution, and ways we can all make a difference by combating pollution in our everyday lives. Just look at the effects pollution has had on our Earth in the past 20 years. A rise in global temperatures and sea levels, plastic islands floating in the ocean, and a shortage of non-renewable fuels. Ask yourself one question, and that is, how much longer can we keep this up? Thank you for letting me read my speech. And these are my cards. My name is Keelan James Dalrymple, and thank you for letting me read my speech.